Now, the strike at Pikitup is intensifying despite a court order deeming it illegal. Wage talks with the South African Local Government Association have broken down. The strike turned violent last week as workers threw stones at refuse removal vehicles. Joining us in the studio now is Pikitup spokesperson Desiree Nsthinglia to discuss more on the story. Good morning. Thank you for coming in.
Good morning. Thank you.
The strike is still on?
The strike is still on at some of the depots. We are obviously still continuing with some of our contingency plans, but it is happening at some of the depots.
So are we correct to say the strike is illegal?
It is an illegal action. It's obviously coming from members of employees who have been suspended for obviously creating intimidation at some of the depots that workers were willing to work.
Okay. How many workers have downed tools?
We had about 1,600 plus who were suspended last week pending the process of disciplinary action, and as a result that has impacted some of our operations.
Okay, last week you told us that there will be more discussions between management and the unions. Has there been any progress in those discussions?
There's still ongoing consultation, obviously, but management has made a decision to actually continue with some of the disciplinary actions, especially for the employees who have created some of the tension at the depots.
Okay, how badly has the strike affected waste collection in and around Gauteng?
There was some impacts to some of the areas, especially where the depots were located, such as Randburg and Avalon. But over the weekend, through our contingency plan, we were able to collect some of this refuse. I do know that there's areas that are still impacted, and the backlog will be cleared. We've done 90% of what was outstanding.
Okay, is this mostly around Johannesburg, the bigger Johannesburg area?
Yes, definitely. Areas that were impacted were within the city of Johannesburg, but we're just outstanding with Ivory Park and as well as Avalon area.
Okay, you've mentioned intimidation, and we saw reports last week about intimidation, and you said Pikitup had requested help from the South African Police Services, from Joburg Metro, and from a private security company. How are things now? Has intimidation calmed down?
I think things have stabilized. There are men and women of Pikitup who are keen to continue working. They were brought in just to normalize the situation and bring in some law and order, so that there's no chaos in our depots.
This problem that Pikitup is facing haven't just started last week. I mean, earlier this year, we saw similar action by the unions, and the DA, which is the opposition party in Gauteng as well, last week said Pikitup had become unstable, and that's in the interest of all citizens of Johannesburg, that the mayor should intervene to bring back some normality and sense to a volatile situation. That's according to the DA. What's your take on it? What do you say to that?
I think management's view is quite clear. We're in the middle and the process of a transformation. Management's quite resolute in ensuring that the transformation and change takes place. But with any organization, during a process of transformation, there will be some resistance. And as a result, we're still spearing ahead from a management perspective to try and make things turn around and also improve the efficiency and the service delivery of the entity, and as well as take it to the next heights.
Are you satisfied that there's been enough consultation with the unions for them to understand these new changes that management is busy with?
I think from a management's perspective, it's been satisfactory. So we're hoping that the relationships continue, but I'm quite confident that everything has been done well.
Very briefly, when do you think the strike will finish?
I think it's safe to say it was illegal action by employees. So technically there hasn't been a strike, so we're hoping that things normalize by the end of this week.
Okay, thank you very much. That's Pikitup spokesperson Desiree Nsthinglia.
News that moves. eNCA.com.